met my grandpa Roy when he was a boy in 1904. He was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, got it!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
He did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time than this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody. 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am rolling.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1649, October 29th, 2025. It was 80 degrees on this day last year, and that beat a record established back in the 20s by 2 degrees. And it was cold on some day. I forgot to write it down.
Okay.
Some day in the yonder past.
It was chilly.
She was chilly. And do yourself a favor. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
Many GLers, including a fellow in Pennsylvania, wanted me to know that Bill Gates apparently has changed his mind, does not think climate change is a big problem, certainly not the heat. He believes cold weather is a greater threat to humanity. So he's a little late.
Okay.
See, that was established in the 70s.
Yeah, he's changing his tune now.
Bill, this is a listener in Hershey, Pennsylvania, Dave. Bill has changed his mind. So
Do you get to do that?
Apparently, but I never counted him anyway. He's one of the people who can't lecture us
Right.
because of I'm all for being a billionaire. In fact, I'm all for being a billionaire as many times over as possible. But once you are, you don't get to lecture the rest of us on how to live.
Right.
Because you don't live a real life.
You can tell us how you're going to
You
spend
don't
your
get
money.
12 houses and 14 airplanes and 15 yachts. You can. That's all wonderful. But don't lecture the rest of us. So, Bill, I've never really taken too seriously. And Greg has a good point on Omar Fateh. Well, actually, Fry agrees. They don't want ICE agents wearing masks in Minneapolis. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Well, Somali residents wear masks. Boom. There's a little something for you to chew on.
Not very well thought out, is it?
No, they all wear masks. A lot of them wear masks, Beautiful masks.
Wait, so I have a question about that. So an ICE agent will not be allowed to wear a mask apprehending a
Maybe
criminal.
a Somali ICE agent could wear a mask.
But if I'm going to be Antifa and destroy property,
Then you get to wear a
I'm
mask.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Got it. Okay. I
You
just,
just
wanna
need to know
what
your protocol.
Yeah, I need to know what the new rules are.
May I be entirely serious for just a moment?
That didn't last long.
I have really given a lot of thought to Warren Buffett's solution to curing Minnesota too, the nation's extraordinary debt problem. First of all, at least Warren Buffett calls it a problem. You really don't hear the third rail even talking about it. The debt is at $38 trillion.
And growing.
And Warren Buffett, a couple of years ago, said, I can cure the debt in 5 minutes. No person, I could end the deficit in 5 minutes. You just pass a law that says anytime there is a deficit of more than 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election. It's so common sense that it wouldn't happen because they all learn how to pass the buck. None of them are ever will. But I'm so convinced that the third rail has attracted to it a particular class of American who no longer leads the life that we lead. That wouldn't that do wonders for who would decide to run for office in this country?
I'll say.
For example, I also happen to believe that no sitting congressman or senator should be paid during a government shutdown. Why should they be paid?
I would agree with that.
And I have some answers on that. Bernie Sanders, for example, has said, well, we have a lot of young Congress people here and senators who have families. They need money to live on. Okay, Bernie, so do air traffic controllers.
That's so out of touch.
Arrogant,
Well,
yes.
they're completely out of touch, and Bernie's never worked. He's been sucking on the public teat for as long as he's been alive. Okay, and I think I have more on that. Just a moment, I do. Here, because I'm going to get to my point. Retiring Minnesota Senator Tina Smith, I think she's retiring because she hit all she wants in the stock market.
She's good to go.
Yeah. She said she will receive her government salary during the shutdown. Smith said she would not forego her paycheck because she continues to work in the Capitol during a lapse in government funding. She helped block legislation to pay some federal employees, including congressional staff and Capitol Police, who are working unpaid.
Epitome of arrogance.
I'm going to continue to take my paycheck, Smith replied when asked about some of her Democratic colleagues choosing to defer their pay until the shutdown ends or donate it. I continue to work, and I think the solution here is to end the shutdown by getting the negotiations going so we can solve the problem. Okay.
How does she put a Republican twist on that?
I'm solving the problem by the likes of Tina Smith would not run for office if the conditions called for them to never be allowed to run again if the deficit was 3% above GDP, and never run again if they figured out a way to take their money during a shutdown. There shouldn't be a shutdown. All that's indicative of is you haven't done your job in the first place.
Right.
There should not be a shutdown. And in the event there is a shutdown, you shall not be paid.
Hear, hear.
End of story. Now, what would that do to the Americans who now look at politics and see it as a means to exercise a great deal of discipline and ethical and moral integrity? That's great. I'm going to go there and I'm going to work my butt off to make sure the budget's under control. I'm an accountant by trade and I really want to do this. And if we fail, I won't be running again. But I want to do this because I like the country. And the way it's been run by this current group of third rail people, the country is failing miserably. So let's do that. And by the way, I understand that if elected and there's a shutdown, I won't be paid. I accept that. I'm not going to be paid. That would give them incentive to never have a shutdown.
It's almost as if they don't give a damn about the rest of us.
We've managed to, because Americans have had it so good for so long, that we have managed to surrender the political class to grifters, scam artists, con artists, people who want to live there, and they don't give a bleep about you, including you, Tina Smith, you phony. You're a phony. And the way to solve that is strengthen the rules under which someone would even want to run for office.
But
Right now, it's
free
just
for all.
it's a free for. You get there and you get a big office and you hang portraits on the wall and you get 30 or 40 people walking around with laptops who pretend to work for you, and nothing gets done. Nothing.
Where is the fight? Where's
And
the
you
fight?
you all say, "Oh, I'm going to Washington to fight for you." No, you're not, Tina Smith. You went to Washington, probably got rich, and you're retiring. No one can run for office. No one can hold a congressional or Senate seat in Washington, D.C. if the deficit is above 3% GDP.
You know, there's something that Warren Buffett knew when he was saying that, and you probably know it while you're saying this.
Of course I do. They'll never vote to make this a law.
Right.
It's the same thing with term limits. Yeah, they'll never vote for it.
But
because-
this is better than term limits. This is
Yeah, you're
just
right. You're right. It is.
common sense.
Yes.
So all we're doing now is talking to make ourselves feel better. Instead of doing that, we need to take some action. What is the action that we need to take other than voting? Pretty heavy question, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Well, something needs to be done.
Okay, well, let me finish my fantasy, and then we'll worry about that.
Get on to the violence then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me finish my fantasy, because in my fantasy, what I see happening. Well, and again, yes, of course, I know that the law will never be passed, but it should be passed if people had goodness in their hearts and they had the ulterior motive of really doing some good work for this country. That law would pass in a heartbeat, and they would demonstrate that they're capable of it. That's never going to happen.
There are 2.2 million federal civilian employees. That does not include the military or federal contractors. In addition, there are 1.3 million active duty military personnel, along with reservists and National Guard members. So that puts us up around almost the 4 million mark, right?
Well, let me go back to Warren's plan, because I'm reading a Yahoo piece. I don't see a byline, but someone has done the Lord's work. You wouldn't need Congress to pass this law. Under Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution, 2/3 of the state legislatures could call for a convention to propose this amendment. The amendment being, I don't know what the wording would be. The amendment would be, once elected, you shall no longer be eligible for re-election if in a given budgetary process your deficit exceeds 3% of the gross domestic product. That could become a law. If 3/4 of the states ratified it, it would become law and no congressional approval needed. The odds of that happening are not in America's favor, as the process would take longer than Buffett's 5 minutes to bring about. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love this idea, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm just trying to say or play out the scenario if this was to be enacted. Wouldn't this just then further the digging in the heels? Well, if I'm not going to get elected, I'm definitely not going to vote for this, because then that guy's not going to get elected. You see what I'm saying?
No,
the
I don't.
infighting would just become even more
so what?
substantial.
Who cares?
So what? They're infighting now.
Yeah, my whole point is I don't give a rat's ass what they say in the Senate and the House, Joe. The reason I brought up those millions of federal employees is because those are the people who have to do what you just said. Mm-hmm. They have to come together along with us, the voting citizenry, and we need to stroll into Washington and do a nonviolent January 6th. Walk in there and say, no more. We are done with you assholes running our lives. You sit here high on the hog, getting paid on the third rail, while the entire country is suffering. No more.
Plus, I really stuck on the idea that it would attract, instead of Tina Smith, you'd get somebody smart.
Absolutely,
Right.
it would.
Yeah.
That
But we
wants
need to start over. We need to get all of the activists and all of the bad actors out of there. All of them, both sides.
We need to elect people who wear green eye shades and lick the tip of their pencil.
You mean people that can do math?
Yes, these people, we've allowed this to happen. Now, there's a lot of talk in the country. A lot of Trump opponents love to throw around the idea of the king. He's a king. Yeah. People, you open your eyes. We've essentially created a situation where these clowns go to Washington. They're all kings. They're not held responsible for anything. They pass the buck from one to the other. They play games all day long. Yep. Your king stuff is fine, but you better apply it to everybody who holds elected office in Washington, D.C. They're unaccountable to us.
And not only the people that lick the pencil, but the people that wear a pliers on their belt or have a butcher smock on.
Yes.
The waiter, the waitress, the bartender, we need real humans in Washington, not these people.
And because you don't pay any attention as the electorate, You buy this BS when they come home every 6 months and pretend to drive around in a Jeep and look at farmland and say, boy, when I get back to Washington, I'll be fighting for you. No, when they get back to Washington, they'll resume their comfortable life that has nothing to do with representing you. Nothing.
So how do we start over?
Boy, I don't know, but that's what it's going to take, a complete starting over.
We need to hit the reset button.
Now, here's the interesting part. We want a GL start over. The Marxists want another kind of start over. They want to abandon the Constitution and start over and bring about the mystery. I do not want to bring about the mystery. I want to bring about a responsible Congress and Senate who, if they don't work hard and perform, they don't get to run again.
Absolutely.
Can I introduce you to a single tweet that I saw yesterday from your favorite governor, Tim Walz?
Sure.
Basically summarizing everything that you and Kenny just said. Mm-hmm. The math just don't math. Mm-hmm. Governor Walz yesterday tweeted the following. Every $1 invested into SNAP generates $1.80 in economic activity. It's not about the money. Trump just wants Americans to go hungry.
No, I don't really think he does. That's silly. But here's
But the point is, Tim, that's not how math works.
All that proves is that he's a ludicrous fool. Mm-hmm. And anybody who believes that is also a fool.
And he's the king of gaslighting.
And I could add to this, too. There, not only would you not be able to run for re-election, but in the event you succeed in passing budgets that make sense and result in deficits less than 3% of GDP, if you serve 2 terms, you are eligible for a pension. If you serve 1 term and you failed miserably at bringing about the changes that are needed, you also aren't going to leave with a pension. You're done.
Sure.
And a new class has to take a shot at it. Because this is ridiculous. And these people out of work, the people working and not getting paid, these are the serfs you people put in place. These are the people you've dreamed up to work for you. And they hold federal positions. You're getting paid. They're not. That's outrageous.
We sound like the people that fought against Britain.
Yeah, we do.
Started the Continental Congress, that started a new country. That's what we need is a revolution.
Because the more we've done this show, the more we've come to realize 2 things. 1, there's a mystery afoot. And 2, the status quo is a joke.
Yeah.
Now, do you want the mystery to win or do you want common sense to win? I say common sense should win. And Chuck Schumer, what have you done for this country? Give me a long-serving Republican. Who's the guy in the Carolinas? The same would apply to him. You people have put on theater all your lives.
It's their shutdown.
It's a play.
Both. Yeah, it's both of their
You're running
shutdown.
a play.
Yep. Meanwhile, we've got food boxes going out to federal workers.
It's an embarrassment.
I had a TSA agent that I was talking to yesterday. I said, "How are you doing?" She said, "I'm still showing up, but it's beyond belief to look at your bank account and not see that check put in there."
What drives me crazy, and God bless all the people that work at the airport, but there's more than just airport workers here.
Right.
There's 2.29 million federal workers.
How about the SNAP? How do you stop payments for a single mom with kids that needs to go get Kraft macaroni and cheese?
But the problem is, Rook, the SNAP program is completely out of control.
That's aside. That's
a separate
a sidebar.
discussion. Yeah.
I'm so frustrated by this federal shutdown and the gall of those people to sit there and cash checks.
How about the gall of Tina Smith?
All of them, Joe.
In one hand, you're telling me you're accepting your check, and then moments later you vote to deprive others of getting theirs.
Out of touch.
But here's, okay, that being said, here's the ray of hope. I was in the Armed Services room yesterday, and the donations for the dry goods for these TSA workers, the shelves were full. People are dropping off stuff at the airport. understanding that. Why does the normal public understand that, but the third railers, they don't give a rat's?
Listen to this. Senate staff missed their first full paycheck on Monday. Federal employees will not receive salary at the start of their next pay period beginning next Friday. Lawmakers, however, that's Senate staff, I said, missed their first full paycheck. These are the obsequious factotums that you have following you around, Tina. They carry their little iPads and pretend you have a meeting to go to. Lawmakers, however, are guaranteed their salary checks due to Article 1, Section 6 of the Constitution protecting their pay. Why can't we have another amendment to the Constitution saying you don't get paid during a shutdown and you don't get to run for re-election if the deficit runs 3% above the GDP? Why? Let's have that. Nearly all Senate Democrats have voted against a House-passed bipartisan spending bill to fund the government on 12 separate occasions. Okay. Well, you get my idea.
We need a revolution.
Well, I hate to say it, but we do. This is ridiculous. In the meantime, you miss one... You'll be a day late paying your taxes.
Yeah.
This is outrageous. Tina Smith. Who in the hell is Tina Smith?
What has she?
Well, I know
what
who
has
she
done?
is. What? Well, who are any of them? Nancy Pelosi. Are you kidding me?
Is she effective? No.
No.
Is Mitch McConnell effective?
Who
No.
has been effective? When you go to the polling place next Tuesday to vote for mayor in either St. Paul or Minneapolis, ask yourself, are you enjoying a better city than you did 4 years ago?
Nope.
In St. Paul's case, the answer is obviously no. In the Minneapolis case, you're being asked to decide between the chance that the city could become better or absolutely no chance of the city becoming better. That's your choice in Minneapolis. It's either Fry with a chance to become better or Omar Fateh with the virtually the guarantee the city will fall into ruin. In the meantime, while we're still leading our lives and you have a garage and you take care of your own property and you're personally responsible, get your garage door taken care of before the winter season hits. You don't want to deal with that in the 20 below day. Get a hold of Precision Door, Precision Garage Door. If you need a new door, Precision Garage Door sends out a guy. Maybe it's a gal. I don't know. But you'll have a consultation. It's free. And right now, they have models of doors for every budget, by the way. And right now, GLers get $100 off a single door and $200 off a new door. If you like your current door, but you want to guarantee it's going to work through the window and work through the winter.
To the wall.
And the window. You
And
got
the
windows
window.
there.
And she's acting up on you or making some weird noises, get a hold of Precision Door and book a noisy door tune-up special. For $149, that's normally a $290 value. They'll throw a 25-point safety inspection at it and tell you if you're going to make it through the winter or not. Book online at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com, or call 612-263-6985 and schedule either a new door consultation or that noisy door tune-up special with Precision Door.
Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's talk about Seafoam Christmas gifts that I know you're going to put under the tree for your loved ones come December. Any or all of what we call the big three will work. If you do all three, we call it the GLers Emergency Kit, the kit we should all carry in our daily drivers, starting, of course, with the Seafoam motor treatment. Not only good for storing cylinders and reviving cylinders, it's also the key for long-term happiness with those cylinders. And I don't care what it is you're dumping it into, an old Minneapolis Moline or a brand new Dodge diesel. Give them a shot every now and then. Keep that fossil fuel engine purring like a kitty. The deep creep, you're going to need more than just a can. You need one in your car, one in the house, the shop, the garage. Keep cans of this stuff everywhere because you're going to need it. And once you start using it, you'll become addictive. You'll love it. And, of course, the bugs be gone. This really, truly is the miracle of all of them. The best Christmas gift you can possibly give. It actually makes cleaning bugs and other organic materials easy and fun. Watching those bugs slide down the windshield is fantastic. A truly enjoyable experience. The big three that all GLers should have on hand, and proof that Seafoam truly is a miracle worker in times of bad gas, rust, and smooshed bugs. Merry Christmas, GLers.
Back to ranked choice voting, however, briefly. Dan McGrath, our own voting detective. We have a lake detective who we should be touching base with one of these days, by the way.
Okay.
And we have Dan McGrath as a voting guru. And I asked him yesterday, do you know who was initially responsible for this becoming a legislative act that ranked choice voting was created? He said, I did a bit of digging to try to answer that question about who carried legislation to authorize ranked choice voting for home rule charter cities. I had forgotten the details about how this first transpired. There was no specific state legislation aimed at authorizing ranked choice voting before it came about. Cities that implemented it relied on their home rule statutes to put it to the voters by charter amendment. So apparently we voted for this. Minnesota Voters Alliance sued to stop it on constitutional grounds, and the Minnesota Supreme Court ultimately upheld the charter city's right to enact it. But the court called it an experiment, in their opinion. Subsequently, just last year, the legislature put forth legislation to authorize it statewide for all cities, not just home rule cities, by simple ordinance rather than charter amendment. That bill was defeated. The chief officers of the defeated 2023-2024 bill were Representative Fraser and Senator Morrison. Current authorization of ranked choice voting is a matter of case law, not statute. And I've got additional information. This is from Julie, who writes, 5 authors, all DFL from 23-24, one of whom is Omar Fateh's sister-in-law, Senator Zainab Mohamed. And let's not forget that Ilhan Omar's sister moved back to Kenya and owns a few nonprofits. No one ever mentions that. That has nothing to do with ranked choice voting. And here it is. It's Senate File 2270 from last year. Ranked voting in elections for federal and state offices establishment, jurisdiction adoption of ranked choice voting for local offices authorization. The authors were Morrison, Mohamed, Port, Hochschild, and Mitchell. And we have it now. So, you know what else they do? As long as we, the American electorate, has basically not paid attention, one thing that we've seen develop is the clamoring among the political class to figure out ways to get there. They know they would be achieving a life unparalleled in America because they really wouldn't be upheld to the same expectations and consequences as the rest of us. So they're constantly tinkering and dreaming up new ways to get there.
To stay fresh.
And then once they're there, they don't do anything either. They just sit around and Well, the next election they'll run home and what's
Fight.
what's Angie Craig do? She gets in her Jeep and
Oh, yeah.
drives around
Off to Lakeville.
off to
There it
someplace.
is.
Yeah.
And then they're all going to fight. They're all going to fight for
for
you.
you.
It's all BS. We've been had. We've been had. The founders didn't intend for us to be had. But Thomas Jefferson did say, we've come up with a great system if you can keep it.
You know why we've been had? Because we're working. I got to work. I got to make money.
Well, then
Gotta
you
make a
sound
living.
like
I know
maybe
I do.
no, you sound like a candidate to go DSA.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah,
Yeah. But I enjoy working for my paycheck.
so do I.
And I don't want a handout.
Well,
I'll take
And
I'll
I
take
don't-
a handout.
well, you
I don't
won't.
want the government to determine how much my handout is and when I receive it and whether or not I eat white bread and ketchup.
Be a tremendous loss of your individual freedom, wouldn't it?
Can I share with you something that I do believe is apropos?
Why not?
I found this from a gentleman by the name of John Lefevre. He works for Goldman Sachs, longtime New York City resident, and is basically like us. He's fed up with the nonsense.
Yeah.
You guys asked the question, I think it was yesterday. How did we get here, right?
Yeah.
How did we end up here? And this is about New York City, but you could replace New York City with Minneapolis and it would be absolutely the same thing. Ready?
Yeah.
How did New York City end up with Mom Donnie?
That's a great question.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Out of all the potential people out there,
The largest employer is the government,
Right?
13% of all jobs in New York City. And the number one private sector job is nonprofit work. 40% of adults are currently not employed. 53% of adults receive at least one form of public assistance. 38% of residents are foreign born. 25% of residents are not proficient in English, and over 50% do not use English as their primary language. Ladies and gentlemen, I love my city. This is why New York is ripe for the taking. You might as well have applied New York City to Minneapolis, St. Paul.
I had another. I was listening to Glenn Beck a bit on driving in today, and I heard something that really triggered a response in my mind. And it was something they weren't dwelling on, but they were talking about the reading statistics. This country is falling dramatically in the ability to read,
Yep.
and if you can't read, you become the property of the state. It would not in slavery, they were saying, and this I know this from reading. What was the one thing a slave could never be allowed to do?
to learn.
Read.
Yeah, learn to read.
Learn to read, because there's your freedom. Is it possible? This is really out there. This is really out there.
Come on in. You want a hat?
Is it possible that the inability to read, the lack of, is it possible that the lack of attention paid to the dreadful percentage of young people who can't read, is it possible that's being done on purpose?
Well, of course.
That's dark.
I mean, we've seen it with the lowering of the standards for black kids in the failed academy.
And you could add math to that as well. Math
Who's there?
proficiency.
Because
Who's
then
our
all
gal
your
up in Roseville, Joe? What's her name? She preaches it every day.
the council person or the
Coffee Monska.
Coffee Moscow. I would add to that I'm not ready to go there. I'm not going to say that the lack of ability to read has been purposely engineered.
You're saying it's not being done by design.
I thought you had been saying it for years. That's where my mind has been for a long time.
Less than.
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish. I don't believe that every morning in the teacher's lounge They give each other a pep talk and say, let's make sure the kids can't read. I do not believe that happens. What I do believe is that there are a variety of reasons that kids can't read. Chief among them, they're not being read to.
Yes.
2, what's replaced the book in their hand is the electronic device.
Yes.
The phone and the iPad. There's plenty of blame to go around for why kids can't read. But the end result of them not being able to read will only predict dire consequences for the nation as a whole. Whether you want to say it's because mom's not reading to them or dad's not reading to them and they don't develop an appreciation for reading, or whether you want to blame it on the phone and the iPad, wherever you want. I think school would come in last in this, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
I know of a black doctor, has his PhD.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
Former
How can
principal.
that be?
How could that be?
I know. I don't know how he found out how to read somehow. He was an inner city principal, and he said, if they haven't learned how to read by 3rd grade, they're going to jail.
It's interesting that you brought up,
A direct
Joe,
quote.
you brought up being read to. Because after, our parents stopped reading to us or to me, the nursery rhyme nonsense. The first thing I remember, I think it was in 4th grade, the teacher reading to all of us Where the Red Fern Grows. And that, to this day, is what has inspired me to read, was being read to.
I can give you a personal example. In days past, with my own kids that I used to have, they were read to constantly. They'd come at me with a book. They were little people, and let's read. Okay. Then they began to have children, one of whom has a birthday today. She's 21.
Oh, my gosh.
She was read to. She would approach her parents with a book. Now I'm seeing, because I'm surrounded by these little brats.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing the last kid I used to have, her kids are really young. I bug them. Do you want me to read to you? Let's read. Here's a book. We still have all the books laying around. And I'll grab a book and I'll say, come on, sit with me. Nope. It's a constant battle. And they grab an iPad and they watch Paw Patrol or,
SpongeBob,
Peppa Pig, and I fight it. I all the time. And while and I'm told their time on these pads is limited. When they come over here, they get to use the pad, blah, blah, blah. I miss that they're not sitting on my lap and I'm reading to them. And that's the generation. So there's 11 of these characters.
That happened fast.
Yeah. 7 of them.
Jeez.
7 of them came up in the reading environment. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to make it 8. I'm going to make it 8. 3 of them are not of the reading environment. 3 of the 11 are bypassing that reading environment. Now, I have every confidence they'll be okay because there's other ways I can give them grief and make them shape up. But so a great deal of blame for kids not being able to read absolutely has to be placed in the home. Absolutely. Turn off the damn TV, take away the device, and read. You got to read the kid a book. And as we get closer to Christmas, I can guarantee you that I'll scare them, the 3 that I'm thinking about, I'll scare the hell out of them in being read to, because I'll threaten them with Santa Claus and all that other BS who will read Christmas books if nothing else, but they're going to sit there and they're going to read.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out how you can fool these little twerps. Start reading them stuff they want to hear, like Taylor lyrics, or you know what I mean? You've got a trick. You got to use trickery.
Any kind of reading. I don't care what if it's Taylor lyrics.
Right. That's what
You've
you have
got
to do.
to
Trickery.
read to kids.
Here's like a story about Taylor.
Yeah. Or
Trickery.
you can make one up and pretend you're reading it on the page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Taylor Swift owns a big house in Rhode Island that your grandfather would love to have.
I am being texted by a former school teacher that reading still is big, and I think I would add, but you got to reading at home is the key. Gabe, go ahead and describe for me the moments we shared when I read a book to you.
But you don't even know how to
How
read.
many? What warm memories do you have of me reading to you? He puts up the big goose egg. That's his mom, not me.
Here's the deal. If you can't read, you are just putty in the hands of manipulators.
Right.
If you can't read, you
lost control.
You've got no shot. And these idiots that we keep electing because we're not paying attention and aren't and the electorate isn't on to the great scam they've been running against this country. You are just making a whole new generation of supplicants.
You know, they can always learn to read in prison, Joe.
Well, okay, but so then,
They can read on their way to the hatchery.
Yep.
so on your decline, there's going to be a point of no return when who is going to be in office?
I can help you.
As yesterday's positive report card shows, children do learn.
That's right. Children do learn. Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, man, huh?
Hey,
What do you got? I mean, tell me something. Tell me something. I need to know something.
I'm going to tell you something.
Okay, what are you going to tell me?
We've lost more research monkeys.
Come on.
I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
I'm very nervous about it.
Yeah, I got to get this fixed.
You know, it's one thing to have a monkey running around loose.
Exactly.
It's another thing to have an infected monkey running around
I don't
loose.
want that.
I don't.
I don't want an infected
That's not good,
monkey.
is it?
Major
good.
dent.
Is
not
that good?
That's very bad.
Okay.
What's the salve?
Let's say you
what
got-
kind of ointment are you going to put on that?
Well, no.
monkey?
Let's say you got injured by an escaped research monkey.
Okay.
I'd call Bradshaw and Bryant. I'm not kidding.
They defend monkeys?
Well, no, they defend you, you moron.
Okay.
Bradshaw and Bryant, because you know what? You don't want to deal with the Monkeys Insurance Company. Let Bradshaw and Bryant do that. I'm being serious. Whether it's a car accident or an attack by a research monkey, insurance companies. I'm sure Mike Bryant is wondering what in the hell is he talking about.
Maybe a new division.
Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant and his team are there to explain your rights, represent you. They'll help you through a tough team. Mike Bryant is one of the super lawyers in this state, so named by Minnesota law and politics. That's the real deal. Bradshaw and Bryant hopes you're never in an accident of any kind. But if you are, call Bradshaw and Bryant at 800-770-7008 or go to minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Your case evaluation, of course, is not anything you're going to pay for. And also, please don't be part of the problem. Don't text and drive or drive distracted. That's just common sense from Bradshaw and Bryant.
as we know it, but he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
I got a great story from We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com, but first I have to grab my copy. Here we go. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in charge of corporate holiday gifting this year, don't be the person handing out boring gifts. Be
Don't
the
be
hero
that person.
that sends out toffee peanuts. Huh?
Yeah.
And here's the deal. Here's how easy it is to take care of all of those gifts for, it doesn't matter whether you're looking at clients, family, friends, whatever, employees. Just go to wearenutsmn.com. You download the corporate gifting catalog. It's right there on the homepage. You pick your tins. Cashews, mixed nuts, chocolate almonds, hokey pokey popcorn, even the famous 4. You send them your gift list, and then they're going to pack, personalize, and ship each tin, even with custom enclosure cards featuring your logo and message. There's no endless forms. There's no box taping marathons. You just call, email, or visit the site, and they're going to handle everything else. You got to order by November 14th to get those tins delivered by Christmas. Go to wearenutsmn.com. Call them directly at 612-781-6596, and they're going to take care of everything. When I was reading this ad during the Weekly Scramble podcast, Mike Fratelloni was taking care of this. I said, "Oh, that's nice, Mike. You're sending this out to your employees?" He says, No, I'm sending this to my house.
Oh,
he ordered himself some holiday gift tins to Mike.
Nothing like a present for
Mike.
yourself. Yeah.
Anyway, take care of them. They're the absolute best, locally roasted, and they're a great family-run organization. wearenutsmn.com.
3 things to worry about if you're not worried about the government.
3 things to worry about if you're not worried about the government. Why am I angry?
You know, I've had some trouble. Well, both Pat and I have, but
Math.
no, I believe
Rage.
the standards for sainthood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm worried about them.
Cracker Jacks.
Rook, who was the kid that was just named a saint? He did basically a science project.
That was Saint Carlo Acutis, the 15-year-old that died of leukemia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the poor guy.
Sad
Good.
story.
And he did a computer program. I don't know what he did. He did. What did he do?
Well, his 2 miracles were someone was cured. They had a really bad cancer type. And then the other one, somebody touched a shirt that he had touched, and they were cured. Those were his 2 miracles.
All right. Well, God bless him.
Yeah.
Well,
He was the first millennial saint.
you know,
You want a little more, though. You want Lazarus or something like that.
well, look at this. Pope Leo the 14th. He's the new guy.
Yeah.
He has officially declared Bartolo Longo a new saint.
I don't know who. I'll look up Bartolo Longo.
He's a former satanic priest.
Oh.
Ooh, hang on.
I mean,
that allowed?
the standards are being.
Leo.
Longo was born in 1841 in Latiano, Italy, and trained as a lawyer. After the death of his father, he became involved in occult practices and reportedly served as a satanic priest, engaging in extreme fasting and allegedly making a pact with a demon. What?
Yeah, I'm looking it up
What's
right
this
here.
now?
This is
What?
not. Yeah.
Seeking answers about life and the afterlife, he turned to local mediums before eventually being guided back to the Catholic faith by Professor Vincenzo Pepe. After he renounced Satanism, Longo took a vow of celibacy and devoted himself to charitable works. He founded the Pontifical Shrine of the Blessed Virgin of the Rosary of Pompeii, as well as an orphanage for girls in 1887 and an institute for the sons of prisoners in 1892. In 1922, he established another institute for the daughters of prisoners. He also volunteered for 2 years at the Neapolitan Hospital for Incurables.
Ooh. That's a place.
He died in 1926.
Oh.
He was canonized along with 6 others, including 3 nuns.
The Deuce called him the Apostle of the Rosary.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy was.
That's cool. But being I guess if you have the turnaround, right?
Oh yeah. Apparently he had the. What are his? We got miracles. There's a picture of him here.
I have one question. I want to tread lightly because I am not a Catholic, and
I'm worried about the standards.
I have questions about you Catholics. How old was he when he took this so-called vow of celibacy, and was he already past his prime, and was it probably involuntary?
That's a good question.
Anyway,
I'm not seeing
I
dates,
think we've
but
all
I follow what you're saying.
Yeah, I've
We've
been on
all
that
reached
plan
the
for a
age.
while.
Yeah, right.
we've all reached the age where we have also taken that involuntary vow.
Involuntary vow.
You know, there's a lot of steps you have to go through.
There are a lot of steps.
You know, to become a
Do you like
become a
steps?
saint.
However,
This guy was an ordained satanic priest, which involved leading seances, experimenting with drugs, and even getting involved in orgies.
Oh, Charlie Sheen.
yeah.
Wow.
Is he up for it?
Then one night he heard the voice of his dead father crying out to him, "Return to the church, return to God." Shaken and desperate for guidance, Bartolo, isn't there a baseball player named Bartolo?
Bartolo Colon.
Yeah. Bartolo turned to a close. By the way, I'm enjoying the World Series immensely.
It was a fun game
Wanna
last
throw
night.
that in.
Yeah.
Shaken and desperate for guidance, Bartolo turned to a close friend, Professor Vincenzo Pepe, who was horrified to learn of this character's descent into occultism. Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pepe warned him that his actions were leading him towards madness and spiritual ruin.
Madness is just, you don't want to go toward madness.
You don't want that, do you?
Madness is bad because it's undefined.
His blunt words broke through Bartolo's denial, convincing him to seek help from a Dominican priest, Father Alberto Redente. Well, why hasn't he become the saint?
Right.
Under Redente's guidance, Bartolo began a month-long process of confession and repentance, eventually renouncing his former life and dedicating himself to faith and service. Serious task for you.
Yeah.
See if you can find Bartolo's miracles.
That's what I'm looking for right now.
He became outspoken against spiritualism, interrupting gatherings in cafes to denounce the occult. Okay, he became a Dominican on the feast of Our Lady of the Rosary. Soon after, he made a final symbolic break from his past, attending one last seance only to stand before the crowd, raise a rosary, and declare, "I renounce spiritualism. It is nothing but a web of lies and deception."
Okay.
I have no word on his miracle.
Longo's is associated with several miracles centered around the shrine of Our Lady of the Rosary of Pompeii, which he founded. The first miracle involved the healing of a young epileptic girl, Clorinda Lucciarelli, shortly after a painting of the Virgin Mary was displayed at the shrine.
All right. Well, he's got some miracles then.
Other healings in grace since the miracle. Okay, that doesn't
All right,
say
that's fine.
That's
Thank
good
you.
enough. If the deuce signs off on it, I'm okay.
The second thing you can worry about.
The second thing you can worry about if you don't trust the government.
Putin is testing an unstoppable underwater weapon that can cause a radioactive tsunami.
Jeez.
What? Huh?
He is evil.
It's a doomsday machine.
Are we sure we don't already have one? This sounds like something we should have.
Right.
It's called Poseidon.
Of course.
Real
It's
clever.
capable of triggering radioactive seawater swells to render entire coastal cities uninhabitable. Putin also claimed the power of the Poseidon exceeded the 35-meter-long Sarmat intercontinental missile, which had been referred to in the past reporting by various media outlets and in and outside of Russia as Satan II. Ooh, wow.
Wait a minute.
Come on down.
Didn't we test a lot of nuclear weapons underwater?
I'm sure we did, but I don't think we created a radioactive tsunami. This is a weapon designed to do just that. He's 73 now. He held a nuclear launch drill last week.
Putin's 73?
Yeah.
He's a young 73, isn't he?
There are few confirmed details about the Poseidon in the public domain, just the way the Kremlin likes it. But I'm looking at schematics of it and what it would do, and it's, there you, Mom Donnie would be the least of your problems.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So, and the final thing you can worry about.
And the last thing you can worry about if you don't trust the government.
those escaped monkeys.
Oh, yeah, back to the monkeys.
Authorities in Mississippi said several monkeys have been destroyed, but 3 are still on the loose after a truck carrying the animals crashed yesterday.
You got to be careful if you got infected monkeys.
The Jasper County Sheriff's Department previously said the rhesus monkeys carried hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID and were deemed to be aggressive to humans, requiring personal protective equipment to handle them.
Again, Charlie Sheen.
The
I
sheriff's
just handled one monkey.
The sheriff's officer later clarified the comment with a statement from Tulane University that the monkeys were not infected. I don't believe that. I believe they're a danger, and I don't want anything to do with them.
Sure, they're not infected.
Deputies said the truck carrying the animals crashed on Interstate 59 near mile marker 117 in Jasper County, Mississippi. The authorities have been in contact with an animal disposal company to find the remaining monkeys who escaped.
Hey, what does your dad own? What kind of company does your dad have?
Animal disposal. Non-human primates on the Tulane National Biomedical Research Center are provided to other non-human primates. That makes it sound as though they also offer human primates. Provided to other research organizations to advance scientific discovery, the university said in a statement. The primates in question belong to another entity, and they have not been exposed to any infectious agent. I don't believe you. Otherwise, why would this be a story? Right. The non-human primates were not being transported by Tulane, but we are actively collaborating with local authorities and are sending a team of animal care experts to assist. No, you're sending a team to shoot the hell out of them if you see them.
Get rid of them.
Shoot the hell out of them.
Right. That's what I do.
Joe, there's a lot of, I'm what they call a sportsman. I go out and hunt animals.
I know you
could
do.
never, ever bring myself to shoot a bunny rabbit or a jackrabbit. For some reason, I can't do it. I could easily shoot the hell out of a monkey.
So could I.
Easily. They're
So could I.
horrible, horrible creatures.
Why? Especially if they got hepatitis.
Yeah.
Right. If they're coming after me, let's go.
Running
Lights
around
out.
with their wanker in their hand.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Flinging
no.
poop.
Bumming
Not
a
in my
cigarette.
neighborhood.
Plus, this always happens down there. Wasn't it in the Carolinas we lost some monkeys about a year ago?
Yeah, they got to have better transportation.
What? What do you want?
They have better transportation.
Yeah, they got it.
Why do
You
you
can't
want?
have a bad steak truck deliver them.
Why do you want to have a break?
Because it's break time.
Okay, fine.
Hammer time.
Oh, smooth.
Got it.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Soucheray.
Let's talk about North American Banking Company. They have been at it, investing in your success since 1998, and they had a promise to deliver a better banking experience for your customers where you know your banker and they know you. And you know what? Since that time, they know that a lot has changed. But you know what? That commitment to being a true community bank here in the Twin Cities, that has not changed. And you do get that feeling anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations, whether it's Roseville, 50th in France, Woodbury, Hastings, Shoreview, and also Maple Grove. They take the time to get to know you, your family, and also your business. Locally owned and operated. And here's why that's important. That means that loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. They are not sent out of state. So this helps all of you business owners solve problems quickly and also expand your business with confidence. They deal with numbers every single day, but you are never going to be one of them. So check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. And this portion of what would be Johnny Heights Newscast is brought to you by our friends at North American Banking Company.
It's dangerous, isn't it, to talk about the people who are relying on SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Correct.
Because you can't judge books by their covers.
Of course not.
But boy, is it ever tempting. Hail the Flashlight King.
Hail
you.
In a recent podcast, you and the boys were discussing the impact of the federal government shutdown on the SNAP nutrition program. First, let me say that old guys like me recoil at these fancy acronyms that bury the meaning of programs with clever, flowery language. SNAP? What the hell is SNAP? Let's call it what it is, food stamps. The food stamp program is faced with running out of funding on November 1, and the national media is working feverishly to tug at our heartstrings by running stories about how this will impact women, children, and people of color hardest. In a recent podcast discussing this topic, you shared your observations about many of the food shelf clients pulling up in late model cars and carrying the latest in smartphones. While watching ABC World News tonight on Tuesday, a story was running with all the usual hyperbole, which then cut to video of a lineup of cars being loaded with food. The first car shown in the clip getting the free food was a late model Audi SUV. Apparently, a loss in food stamp funding hits Audi owners the hardest, not our poor inner-city children with distended bellies and flies landing on their eyelids. Mm-hmm. In my hometown, I've observed the same scene every Wednesday when the local food shelf opens their doors. I like to drive by occasionally when they are feeding the birds here locally. He put feeding the birds in quote marks. To see all the nice cars, cell phones, tattoos, and ladies with their nails done getting their rations. It's truly remarkable to see these people line up for their freebies. I do believe there's a true need for some, and even agree with Kenny that some hard-working people may fall on hard times and need occasional help to make ends meet. I do, however, also hold the opinion that great numbers of freeloaders are scamming the food stamp program in order to afford their Audi payments. I just wanted to let you know that what you are seeing at your local food shelf is also happening in my small town and most likely anywhere else you may care to look. Now, please excuse me while I chase some neighborhood kids off my lawn. Rumpf. I won't say his name out of a courtesy to him. It's dangerous. We can't play that game.
Well, I disagree completely. I think we can play this game. Because if you look at the statistics of the SNAP program, the growth of said program just in the last 10 years is basically triple what it was.
Well, in Minnesota, I find it disconcerting to see the number. More than 400,000 people in Minnesota get SNAP benefits. Really?
That's a heavy number, isn't
Are you
it?
kidding
And
me?
we always have to preface this. I understand that the need for this program, and I understand that there are people that genuinely do need this program to survive. And I am not here to poo-poo any of that.
That's going to be part of our remake of the country. We got to figure out how to do it so it makes sense.
But 60% of all illegal households are on this program. 60%.
Well, you got to eat.
How many people did you say? 400 something?
Yeah.
Kenny, it's 43 million nationwide.
Now, I just want Minnesota because the population of
Sure.
Minnesota is 5.7 million. So what's that percentage if it's 400 something? It's a pretty big chunk, right?
Well, it's approaching 20%.
Yeah. I think I'm with you, Joe. Yeah.
And it's
And
over. It's, I believe, the total number for fiscal year of 2024, and this is all only being discovered because of the government shutdown. It's approaching $150 billion annually.
And how much of that's fraud?
Well, that's just it. Who knows?
Plus, it's a dangerous game to play to introduce the idea of obesity in the recipients. But I see a lot of that.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying you should be starving to death. That's ridiculous. But maybe your food choices could be wiser. As long as I'm working to provide you with food, I'd appreciate it if you ate better food.
What about lung darts? Can I still have
No,
a
I
dart?
don't. As long as I'm paying for it, I would prefer you didn't smoke.
Really?
And I'd prefer that you occasionally buy some grapes.
What if I buy in
Case I
generic?
come over.
No, generic lung darts. They're only $9 a pack.
No, I'm not paying for lung darts. And I don't want to pay for Twinkies and things like that. I think you should eat well. As long as you have the chance in this great country and you are being provided for, I think you should eat wisely.
What about the lotto?
And I'm really naive, aren't I?
Yes,
I got to
you are.
run my numbers. I got to play the lottery.
Is Pew Research reputable?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
The food stamp program is one of the larger federal social welfare initiatives, and it, in its current form, has been around for nearly 6 decades. But many misconceptions remain about the program and how it works. For one thing, no actual stamps are involved. Here's a closer look at the food stamp program based on data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Census Bureau, and other sources. I'm seeing a graph basically from 2010 to current day 2025. This program, just in terms of spending, has almost tripled.
Wow.
Per household.
From when to when?
From 2010 to 2025 has almost tripled.
I don't know. You know, the Department of Agriculture was stop number one on the food fraud. Though their cubicles were full of people who didn't bother to be curious about, man, those people in Minnesota were really feeding a lot of kids. Cut them another check.
Sure.
So, you know, there's grief everywhere you look.
So on this particular...
Plus, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the SNAP benefits, even though they add up to $150 billion, aren't they pretty minimal per dose? Like, isn't it $187 a month or something? $6 a day.
I can't answer that.
Well, my point is, you can't buy a lot of food for $187.
But it's based upon how many people you are declaring into that program, meaning how many, not descendants, what's the word I'm looking for? Dependents that you have in your household. The numbers vary from month to month, but in April of 2023, the most recent month with available figures, 41.9 million people in 22.2 million households received SNAP benefits. That translates to roughly 12.5% of the total U.S. population. On average, 41.2 million people in 21.6 million households received the benefits in 2022. My point being, it's continuing to grow. The number's not going down.
And if we continue to elect Marxists, who's going to produce the money to buy this food or produce this food?
Right. Right.
You're going to run out of other people's money. That's why socialism doesn't work.
And that's why there are a number of people freaking out because that's coming to an end, Saturday?
Yeah.
Because that's November 1st.
Sheesh.
I know that many churches have food shelves.
Yes.
There are many food shelves around to donate to. We got a guy that, we pass the basket for the food shelves about every other week.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who just holds it in front of me until I cough it up.
Gives you a little nudge.
Yeah.
And does he take it home?
I got to dig deep.
Does he put it in his car?
You throw in like a can of tuna fish or
He's
something?
all right.
I know a gal that flew out of town this morning and brought some food to the airport for the
Yeah.
Nice.
federal workers.
Yeah.
Matt, did you get your free food there?
Yeah, I got my macaroni and cheese and my beans.
Navy gets the gravy, Army gets the beans.
I will say this also, aside from food, the toiletries that have been dropped off, toothpaste is expensive, deodorant is expensive, and the shelves are full.
What are you discussing?
They've got a little drop off.
Who's they?
The airport has a program.
Oh, the airport,
for
okay.
TSA drop off.
All right.
Don't they just steal the toilet paper from the bathrooms there at the airport? That's what I
that's
do if I
lousy
worked
toilet
They
paper.
do even when they're getting paid.
there. That's called Christmas bonus.
That's lousy toilet paper, though. It's coarse.
It dissolves pretty quick.
Don't you want a nice, soft
How is
tissue?
the toilet
Yes.
paper in the Catholic Church on
Coarse.
your walk?
It's coarse.
Along your walk.
Yeah.
They want to make it hurt so you don't go.
It can be expensive for a guy.
It really can be.
Are you aware that Karine Jean-Pierre, remember Jean-Claude Killy,
I
Biden's
sure do.
Yeah.
spokesperson?
She's an angry little gal.
Oh, boy. She's on a book tour. She's written her book, trying to get her a couple $100,000. Former White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was mocked online after sitting down for an interview with The New Yorker about her new book, which critics have described as incoherent.
Just like your press conferences.
Probably the worst
That's
thing
The New
you
Yorker,
could-
which is so left it doesn't know what to do with itself.
Oh, wow.
Her book, Independent, A Look Inside a Broken White House, Outside the Party Lines. It's a long title, John.
Really, you got to trim it up, baby.
Attack the Democratic Party for its treatment of Biden, who dropped out of the race after weeks of pressure from his own party. Political commentators and journalists posted screenshots of the interview with the New Yorker's Isaac Chotiner, pointing to different parts of the conversation with John Claude Killy. Journalist Josh Barrow highlighted a portion of the interview where Jean-Pierre insisted the broken White House she refers to in the title is Donald Trump's White House.
Oh, that's
He
why.
didn't mean it was
That's
Biden.
confusing to me.
It is confusing
Yeah.
because it's in the title, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're telling me about the feelings of Joe Biden, but Joe Biden is out of the picture. He's out of the picture, Jean-Pierre told the interview, who said, yeah, he sure is. Chotiner shot back, this is what you wrote the book about? I'm not bringing it up randomly. Jean-Pierre argued in the interview that the book was about the moment the country is in and said, so what are the Democratic leadership actually doing to beat back and fight back? What are they doing? Good Lord, read this entire interview. It's hard to even begin to describe Karine Jean-Pierre's answers. They are largely incoherent. New York Times columnist David French wrote, lady, if you want to sell your BS book and you were a part of a Democratic administration, if you've lost the New York Times and the New Yorker, you ain't going to make 5 cents.
Little toast there.
I had no idea you were bringing this book up today.
Yeah.
But I do have an audio snippet. The audio book, Joe. The audio book was available online.
All right.
On Jean-Claude Pierre's book.
All right.
This chapter, I believe, is called The Economy.
The Economy.
And it is reckless. It is playing a reckless game with our economy.
Oh, see, I'd like to listen to that driving along. I would force myself into a ditch and roll over 3 times.
Bridge abutment here.
Yeah,
I come.
anything. Just end this for me.
And it is.
Come on, you doctored this.
I swear to God, I did not doctor that.
Come on.
I just remembered having that soundbite from a couple of
Sounds
years
like
ago.
the kid. Do you know?
You remember that time?
The Atlantic's Jonathan Chait asked, how was KJP hired for this job in the first place? Well, really? Yeah, a black lesbian that she that was given to her. The National Review's James Lynch pointed out to a portion of the interview and wrote, total gibberish. Chotiner pressed Jean-Pierre on her writing that she didn't think former Vice President Kamala Harris could win, while also taking issue with people who didn't seem to think Harris could win by saying they were insulting her. See, I can understand why they're saying this is incoherent. On the one hand, she said, there's no way Harris can win, but then she takes issue with people who say Harris can't win.
Right.
She was always a moron, and she's not letting us down now.
She was a lesbian?
And
I had
apparently
no
she's
didn't know
really
that.
hung up on the fact that she's black. She writes, I wish you could walk in my body and live my life. Well, I don't want to. And then I think you can understand what I'm saying. What? I really do, because I think any other black woman would understand what I'm saying. What it truly is that I just wasn't an open primary or a brokered convention. I can't follow what
I think any other black woman would say, "Girl, you're getting on my last nerve. Please shut your mouth."
Yeah. Jean-Pierre also asked multiple times by Chotiner if she felt like Biden could have served through January. "It's not my place to say," she said. And Chotiner said, "What do you mean by that?" No, wait, I'm answering the question. I did not see anything that would cause me concern. That is my answer, she said. Well, she is really kind of not prepared for this, isn't she?
Yeah, she's in the deep end over her head.
The former press secretary was asked about the debate, meaning the debate with Trump that alarmed the Democrats at the point of getting him off stage with a big hook. What I am saying to you is the debate for me was one time. I had never seen him like that before, she said. Oh, well, okay. John, good luck with your book. I can't imagine anyone would want to even read it or buy it, but who knows? That's all right. Sometimes publishers take great losses.
Sometimes it'll happen
when they give big contracts to the political class, because somehow they think they're going to recover their money, and oftentimes they don't.
You know, a good ghostwriter is someone you really need.
Apparently she didn't have one.
Yeah.
Maybe she made the mistake of trying to do it herself.
Yeah.
You know, only because, go ahead.
She should have hired our favorite ghostwriter, Patrick Royce.
Negative ghostwriter. The pattern is full.
Do you? I could have given you a fourth thing to worry about, but I didn't print it. But are you aware that a cruise line, a very expensive one, left a lady on an island and she died? And I was the only thing I could. That's terrible. She was 80 years old.
What have I been telling you?
And the only thing I could think of was Royce sitting at a porthole window in the ship, and they make an announcement that, well, we don't know what to do. We have one of our passengers is missing, and he'd be saying, "Let's go here. Let's take a chance."
He'd open the porthole and say, "Let's go."
He's 80 years old. Let's go.
There's a good chance she won't make it to the next stop anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know where I thought you were going with that? Was the Far Side.
Oh.
Larry, we
Where
waited
were
and waited.
you? On the moon. Larry, where were you? We waited and waited.
Martha, we waited and waited. She's on top of the trail there, leaning against a tree, and the boat left without her.
Wow. Yeah,
It's terrible.
Don't you?
That's
it's like
one more reason I'm never going on a cruise.
Isn't it? When you have kids on a field trip, don't you count heads?
Yes, you got to.
99, 100.
Maybe they got far enough out where they thought, "Oh hell, let's not even turn around."
Doesn't Ebola and all of that just run amok on the high seas?
Oh, floating petri dishes.
Yeah. They're all barfing and diarrheaing all
Dad,
over everywhere.
Tell me the
Can't
story
go
about
into the pool.
how we lost Grandma.
Yeah. Where's
Well,
Mims?
we were in some island in the Mediterranean, or what do you call that? The Caribbean.
The monkeys must have got her.
And some escaped monkeys got her. And she had to stay there.
The syphilis monkeys got her.
She died doing what she loved.
Yep. Trying to give a cigarette to a monkey. Why don't we take a break, and then I can tell you where the traveling Lymans are right now.
Speaking of a cruise ship.
Yeah.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
I have an eau de Famac. Fresh, clean, and quality water.
How do you go wrong with
It's
that?
the absolute best, by the way. And you know what? Upgrade your home right before the holiday season with Hofferman Water and Connecticut. The underrated value, by the way, of Hofferman Water and Connecticut is what it's going to do to the property value inside of your home. I'm not joking. When I sold my property in Carver, that's one of the best things that the buyer noticed about our home was the water treatment system that we had installed. And it's really great. And you know what? You will not go wrong if you decide to make the switch to go with Hofferman Water and Connecticut. I have done that in my previous 2 homes, and I've enjoyed the amazing difference in the quality of my water, and I know that they will do the same thing for you. But here's the deal. You've got to get on that schedule and have them come out for that free water analysis. You can do that one of 2 ways. Call them directly at 612-895-2440, or just book your appointment online at HoffermanWater.com. And as long as you're on that website, you can see every single water treatment system that they have to offer. But either way, you're going to get on that schedule. They'll come out and give you that free water analysis and then give you that water score. And then based upon that water score, they're going to give you recommendations on how they can upgrade the quality of that water. If they have done that for me, they will do that with you. 612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
Only because they come to us all the way from, now we're in Tangier, Morocco.
Oh, boy.
The traveling Lymans. The boat must have put in at Tangier.
Mm-hmm.
They're at worldwidewaftage.com. It was on this day.
Joe, today is October 29th.
This, of course, is on this day in Minnesota history. So this day,
October 29th.
1775, Jean Baptiste Faribault was born in Quebec.
Quebec.
Yep. The fur trader and pioneer lived in Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota as these territories became states. In Minnesota, he resided in Little Rapids, Inyansayaka, Otunway, on Pike Island, Witatonka, and lived in Mendota. He died in 1860. The Minnesota County honors his name while the city commemorates his son, Alexander Faribault.
Yep. He founded Faribault.
Yeah.
Alexander did.
On this day,
Joe, today is October 29th.
the Upper Town Olympics beat the Lower Town Saxons in St. Paul to become the city's first baseball champions.
Huh.
Cool.
On this day,
October 29th.
in 1947, that a warm fall in 47 and 48.
Oh, I remember it well.
So it was on this day in
Yes.
47 that Charles Babcock, the father of the Minnesota highway system, was honored with a monument dedicated in Elk River. He had served as Commissioner of Highways beginning in 1917, planning the state's trunk highway system and seeing 3/4 of it completed before leaving office in 1932.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I wonder if the monument for him is still in Elk River.
It is. I just looked.
Is it? On this day,
You serious, Clark?
No.
on this day,
October 29th.
in 1971, actress Winona Ryder was born in Winona,
That's irony.
isn't it?
Because then she was named Winona.
Different spelling, though.
On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history. Did I tell you I'm enjoying the World Series?
Yes, you did.
Okay. On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
October 29th. Who'd we lose to?
Except, you know what they did last night? I think it was last night. They installed these two phonies, Harry and Meghan, in the front row.
Oh, it was this.
And Magic Johnson and Sandy Koufax had to sit behind them in the second row.
What an insult.
The royalty there was Koufax and Magic Johnson, not these two idiots.
You're not going to get bigger royalty than Sandy Koufax
Nope.
at a Dodger game.
Nope, you're not.
These are people that call soccer football.
Yep.
And they're in the front row of a baseball.
And these phonies had their Dodgers hats on.
And I bet
It's
they
just-
arrived.
It's just pathetic.
I bet they arrived in the second inning and left in the
I
sixth.
have no idea. Sports disappointment history on this day.
Who'd we lose to on October 29?
Well, we lost to Good Grace. It was in 2010. What did Randy Moss do?
Oh, this is when he had the profane-riddled meltdown at the press conference after they lost to the Patriots.
No.
Dang it.
He lashed out about the catering in the locker room.
When Fade that
right?
bleeped my dog.
Was it Tanucci?
It was
Yep.
Tanucci.
And Matt Burke tried to come to their defend them. I wouldn't feed that shit to my dogs.
Yeah.
But by the way, one of the greatest things that ever happened to Tanucci's because
Right.
they were flooded with people
Right.
that went to their restaurant.
On this day,
October 29.
in 2001, the Gophers blew a 7-point lead with 19 seconds left and lost in overtime to Purdue. So we
really did a lot of that, didn't we?
we have a lot of sports disappointment in this state.
Yeah, I'll say.
You're going to get more Sunday, by the way. That's not a fighting chance in hell the Vikings are going to win that game.
And probably Saturday with the Gophs.
Who are they playing?
Aren't we playing? No, who are we playing?
Well,
Why did I bring that up?
I have the
Why
paper
did
here.
I bring that up when I didn't know the answer? I should know better than that. I mean, Ant's hurt. The Wild can't win a game.
They lost in overtime.
They stinks.
Oh, it stinks.
And didn't we honor wasn't it the 25th anniversary game last night for the Wilds?
I believe so.
Yes, sir.
The Gophers play.
Who do we got?
I got it for you right here. They host Illinois.
No. I think it's Michigan State.
Well, that's volleyball.
Yep.
Where are they? Gopher football. They host Michigan State 2:30 Saturday.
They should win that one.
The Timberwolves tonight host the Lakers,
That's not good.
but it has an 8:30 p.m. start. And the Wild resume play as soon as tomorrow, hosting Pittsburgh.
Said the kid.
Yeah.
Did you see the promo, by the way, for Sydney versus Ovechkin?
No.
In what might be their final meeting. I think it's a week from tomorrow. That's the promo that ESPN did is pretty cool.
Are they both in their last year, do you think?
Well, just it might be the last time they play against each other with their respective teams.
Anyway.
Hey,
Thank
how
you,
are
GLers.
Kenny's is ready to. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Frozen yet?
What now?
Is he frozen yet?
Not yet. Hey, do us a favor if you haven't done so already. Hit subscribe on the Garage Logic YouTube channel because
New Krabby tonight, by the way. Sorry, I'm eating. New
yeah.
Krabby coming out tonight.
Kenny's lunch break.
Yep.
You can hit subscribe on the Garage Logic YouTube channel where you can also watch the show each and every single day starting right around noon. You can also see full segments, video shorts. There's even behind the scenes footage. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube along with all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today at garagelogic.com.